everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Ball Breakers. I'm your host, Rocco. Before we get on to our two big announcements that we have today and our giveaway for our first ever Ball Breakers T-shirt, I want to give the crew some time to talk about their week. So, Chris, what's up, brother? What's going on this weekend?
What's up, Rock? I'm definitely a little rattled about what happened last night, and I mean, it's a little bit late for everybody to be listening to us. We try to keep our promise. What do we say? Monday midnight, right?
Yeah.
Or is that not the right way to say it?
No, it's the proper way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're here now, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Well, the mistake was on my end, but we're not going to get into that just yet. We are going to talk about that. But Earl, how are you feeling?
I'm all right, man. School's catching up to me. Getting tired. I've been staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning watching guys fish for tuna. So I don't know. My priorities just aren't there right now.
What made you watch that?
I don't know. I got Disney Plus now, and I just watch whatever's on there. And I was like, oh, wicked tuna. I'll watch these guys. And honestly, it's pretty informational for me, I guess. Some of these guys catch like $10,000 tunas. It's nuts. So I think that's why I'm pretty interested in it.
I get caught up watching those late night YouTube videos as well. And I also get caught late at night texting Doc. So Doc, what's up, man?
Back here in the stew for a second night in a row. I'm gonna correct our mistakes this time, but I'm good. I had actually a pretty good day at work, surprisingly. Woke up kind of down bad in the trenches, in the gutters, but I'm here, I'm breathing, and I'm ready to get going.
How was recouping from yesterday?
Horrible.
Well, today's a new day, and we are going to transition into our two big announcements. We made two partnerships, one of which is with Joe Martin, our graphic designer. He has done an unreal job designing our logo and the portrait, and we can't thank him enough. And we also began a partnership with Halo Creations, created by Angel Amato. She will be creating our T-shirts going forward, and we are excited to give away our first ever Ball Breakers T-shirt, which is the moment you guys have all been waiting for. So before we do that, we actually plan on merchandising our shirts starting by Wednesday, maybe Thursday the latest. Just take a look on Etsy.com, or just take a look on Etsy. It is in Halo Creations bio, to where you'll be able to take a look through Halo Creations shop, and that's where our shirt will be posted once it is created, and you guys can buy the merchandise when it is for sale. So we cannot thank Angel enough for that. But again, the moment we've all been waiting for, the first ever Ball Breakers T-shirt giveaway. So Earl, take the floor, and let's hear who won.
I just can't help myself but make fun of Rocco a little. We have been waiting to get this out, too. We talked about it yesterday while we recorded. If you guys want to do a little drum roll, you don't have to, but the winner of our giveaway is at Sarah Gwiggy.
Woo!
So, Sarah, congrats on winning the first Ball Breakers shirt there is. Stay tuned into your DMs. We'll probably DM you later this week, maybe even tomorrow, who knows. But yeah, you won, so congrats.
The very first Ball Breakers Pod T-shirt. Congrats.
Nice, Chris.
All right, so for those of you who are new, who are listening, we did our giveaway for our Q&A segment. Basically, all you had to do to enter our first giveaway, send in a question. It could possibly be answered on our podcast. We're doing a Q&A hopefully every week if we can field enough questions. So right now, I want to answer some questions that the viewers did send in. So we had a lot of questions come in. We can only answer so many, obviously, but we are keeping a running bank. So if you did send in a question last week and it's not going to be answered on today's episode, you can send in another one, or maybe it'll be answered at another episode. There's no limitation to when we can answer your question. So
We're
Keep sending them in.
We're keeping a good bank of all the questions.
All right, so we'll start off here with at Lauren Troutwine. She asks, if you could be any character from a movie, who would it be?
I can start.
Go for it.
So I actually had an answer yesterday, but I didn't know the name of the guy in which we had to look it up. So I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go with Peter LaFleur.
Peter LaFleur.
Care to elaborate?
Who is that for the people who don't know?
Average Joe's dodgeball, the leader. After watching Brady hoist that Lombardi, which I know we're all thrilled to see, he is just a leader that I can get behind. And he is the only person who would take a $50,000 grand winning on a dodgeball tournament and bet on himself to then make it $50 million. So that's the man I want to be.
Okay, terrible answer. I'll go next. I would be the guy from Chalk Zone. and I know you guys all know what Chalk Zone
A
is.
TV show, though, right? TV show.
I-
Not a movie,
I-
but that's fine.
You're right. I forgot to preface my answer with that. It is a television show, not a movie, but I used to love this show when I was a kid. I thought it was so cool how he could just get his magic chalk and just make anything go anywhere and it'll like come to life, all of it. I would be that guy. And his name is Snap. I'd be Snap the Chalk Guy.
I got a quick question to add on to that. So if
Mhm.
you could draw up anywhere you want to be, where would you go right now?
That's a great question. I'd probably go to the Amalfi Coast.
Not a bad answer. Doc, what about you before
How's-
I answer?
I was thinking Sugar House.
That too.
So, I think I'm going to change my answer too. Yesterday I was Groot from the Avengers. I think I have his name right. Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball. Is
Dude, what?
That's not even a movie or TV show.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't that a video game?
Does that count? It's a character.
Yeah, but it's not a movie. I mean, yeah, if you just want to be any fictional character,
Yeah,
sure.
that's how I wanna
we'll
be.
stretch Lauren's question a little.
Fine, I'll stick with Groot then.
No. Tell us
No,
why you want to
no,
be
I
want to
be Groot. I want to be Groot.
Well, no, Pablo Sanchez was a better
Too late.
fucking baseball player than he was.
So you think Pablo Sandoval sucks? Is that what you're telling us?
No, Pablo Sandoval was a great baseball player. I'm talking about Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball. He hit nukes.
Same difference.
No,
So you want to be Groot because you
Huge.
look like him?
I do want to be Groot because he's strong and he's a giant tree and he just does everything and he's cool. And he
So
talks like
let's put it all on the line here. Who is it?
Groot.
Groot.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry for that.
Earl?
I got
No,
made
that's
fun
okay.
of.
Yesterday when we recorded, you guys know our episode was deleted. I'm never not gonna break Rocco's balls about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally think it's very unprofessional to have us record 2 nights in a row. But but if I had to pick someone from a movie, I would probably be Aziz Ansari's character in 30 minutes or less.
That's a great answer.
So this is a little plug for Netflix. If you want to sponsor us, it's actual 30 minutes or less just got added on Netflix. If anyone
Ooh.
hasn't seen it, his name's Chet. Basically, the preface of the movie is the guy gets a bomb strapped to his chest. Chet's his best friend. He gets to rob a bank with him. The reason I picked him, nothing bad really happens to him. He gets to do cool shit the whole movie. I mean, his sister gets kidnapped. Oh, I just ruined a movie for anyone who didn't see it.
No
But yeah,
spoilers.
he's cool. You know,
You kind of look like him too.
it's funny, like, you know, we were casting each other as movie members a couple months ago, all of our friends, and someone told me I'd probably be played by Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm as dark as him, but whatever.
You're as funny
You're
as him.
way more handsome though.
Well, that too.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Your body's pretty superb. Go
All
on to
right.
the second question.
On our second question here, we got this question twice, so we decided we're going to answer it. People want to know what we have to say about it. So from @Jess_Gabriel and @Sarah Gwiggy, Sarah won our giveaway, don't forget.
Congratulations.
They both ask, where do you see the podcast in 1 to 2 years? Our podcast.
We're making this thing grow. We plan on having events sponsored in the spring or summertime. I actually just made my cousin Steph Saylor a contact for our marketing for Facebook, and also being the contact to create those events, so that way we can really make them possible and make them happen. So with those events, giving back to our community, I know I say that all the time, but really I love positive vibes. I really want to bring this podcast in a positive direction and have people have that getaway to where everyone locally is listening to us and we're that getaway, and we can hopefully expand not just locally but nationwide.
That was very well said.
Do you have
I don't-
anything to add or on that?
I mean,
or
to follow up after that, those are pretty big shoes to fill. What do you got, Rye?
Yeah, I think just keep growing and expanding our podcast is probably the main goal. We're having a lot of fun doing it, and I enjoy being here with everyone and giving you guys product and content, and we just hope that you continue to enjoy and continue to follow and share us and listen, and this is all for you guys. So yeah, just keep growing.
my answer differs a little more than you guys. You guys kind of sound like two yes men over here. But
It's a good movie.
to answer, like, where do I see the podcast in 1 to 2 years? Truthfully, I don't really care. I don't really care where we end up in 1 to 2 years in regards to the podcast. I mean, we'd started it for fun, strictly fun. We never did this and thought people, were actually... I mean, we never thought this many people would be listening. So I really don't care where we end up.
Yeah, over 300 listens on the first episode. fans. That's we really appreciate that for one, and for two, we don't ever plan on losing sight of the naturality of this podcast. And when you also mentioned Yes Man, it made me think of Jim Carrey. And when I thought of Jim Carrey, Bruce Almighty, changed my answer. Earl the
that guy's a stud.
You don't have what it takes.
You
to
have
be him.
horrible answers for that question.
Bruce Almighty, he's God.
Next
for
question,
a
Earl.
week.
All right, so our third question here is directed strictly for Ryan here. It's from at Aunt Maselli, and it says here, Ryan's senior year playing baseball, he came in to pitch against Triton, our rival high school, about to pick up his first career win. What was going through Ryan's head when he gave up the game-tying run in the last inning? Ryan?
That I'm never going to see the field ever again. And that's basically exactly what happened. That ball still hasn't landed.
When did you get your first career win?
It was senior year against Salem.
It was senior day.
Senior day, yeah.
So that was your junior year pitching?
No, that was my senior year pitching.
With the home run?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So senior day wasn't opening.
Why,
So I had to change that.
Why would Doc be a junior pitching on senior day?
Rocco doesn't use his head much.
No. I asked when he got his first win. I thought senior day was like the opening day to the senior season, meaning that when he let up the home run, he was a junior.
No, he let up the home run. There was a lot of people watching. All the pressure was on him.
Senior day is
And
when
he
I pitched very well that game, too.
Yeah, senior day is like when you schedule a game for your seniors to play. It's usually against the worst team that you could possibly play, so your seniors could get some time in the sun.
They were a good team.
That's why Doc was pitching that day.
Yeah,
senior day.
and usually what our coach would do is he would take you out of the game and you get flowers from you have flowers for your parents and you get a little cheer, like, clap from the fans. But me, I was a beast on the mound. He came out and said, "You want to get taken out?" And I said, "Nah, this is my game. I want to finish it." And I went the distance and I got
It
my
was
first
5
win.
innings. We 15 rounded
It
him,
was
so
7.
it only went 5
Okay,
innings.
whatever.
All right, well, to get a concrete answer to Amaselli's question, Doc just thought he wasn't really going to play ever again after that,
Yeah.
right?
And I walked in and Chris and Ant just started laughing when I got pulled. So
All right, well, hey, listeners, don't forget to send in your questions. Like I said, we can answer a slew of questions every week, so don't worry about it. We'll get to them when we can.
I have one more question for you.
okay.
When was the next time you saw the field after that? How many games in between?
I think I played the next game.
Oh, Gore had faith.
I probably pinched hit or something.
Mm.
I
You're
can't
not saying
remember.
that
That
with
was
much
that was 6-7 years ago. I don't remember.
We're getting old, baby.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't
We're getting
remember.
old.
For sure.
I don't
And-
like that.
And we bring up, it's funny Ant brings that up because our topic of the day is competition. And there's no one more competitive than us for it. I mean, Earl has a little calmness to his competitive nature, and he has a competitive side to him. But me, Doc, and Chris seem to always go at it. I mean, Chris for Rocket League is just as competitive as can be. And me and Doc, there's probably more days me and Doc fight than not fight. So, and it's all has to do with this competitive fire that we have under us. And, that's going to be our topic of the day. And for someone who's played sports as much as we have, I always, I love trash talking.
I agree. I'm a very competitive person. Like you said, I think we all are. I mean, I hate to lose. I think that's like a big thing about it. Like, I don't think anybody like enjoys losing, but like that just like it gets under my
That's
skin.
like one thing I wish that I was more of. Like, I wish I was more competitive because I'm like the kind of guy that could really care less about anything.
See,
Like,
I
don't-
kind of wish I was more like that. Like, it's bad for me because I can't lose in anything, and you guys know this. I'm talking even if like you come up to me, yeah, let's rock paper scissors. If I lose, I'm gonna be visibly upset.
Did you know I'm like the best rock paper scissors like person ever?
Yeah, we'll dispute that after this because I got a feeling I'd beat you.
You won't.
He's
I
just
wouldn't
the
care if I
luckiest
did.
ever.
No, I'm
That's
the
really
best
all
ever.
there is to it.
I'm actually the best. I won. I'm the like reigning champion in my classes for schools.
That's good to see.
Yeah, I
what-
know. I
what,
play rock paper scissors in college. Yeah, become a phys ed teacher, Chris. It's great.
So basically, if me and Ryan did if we did like 5-7 game series of rock paper scissors, like I would want to fight him at one point. I think that's how competitive I am, and it makes me sick sometimes.
I always try to figure out what went wrong when I lose. Like what
Like in anything, you mean, or
Oh,
or
my God, yeah.
RPS?
Dude, I'll never forget when. So I played street hockey growing up, and I switched tournament townships to where I was playing my home township, and I was expecting to ride the bench. Actually, I was like, all right, I'm so ready to just sit back and watch this. I ended up getting the call for the game. They were like, Rocco, you're going. I was like, let's do it. I never got yanked so fast in the first period of my entire life. I got sniped 3 times, upper corner. I felt like Swiss cheese that game, and then I went into the bench, and I threw my stick. I ended up kicking the bench, whatever, and I just sat there, and I was like, what could I have done better? And that's what runs through my head when I lose, every time. And then I get mad the other team defeated me, and then it just adds on top of a pile of emotions.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great way to describe yourself, as a pile of emotions. So it's funny you say that.
Yeah, you have anger issues.
Oh, for
But
sure.
you know, I think the cool thing is about like competition or being competitive is it's not just like in sports, but it's all around you in life in general. Whether it's, you know, in your job, in your career field, whatever it is, or if it's in school, obviously sports, and I mean, there's so much things else that come to being competitive. You know, you never.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are very sports oriented people. You guys played sports growing up, you know, not as much as me. So when I think of like competitiveness, I think of like getting into a program in school or getting a job, or not that any of us are in like a competitive field of work, but like I think about like doctorate programs, like how competitive some programs are.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You're competitive toward yourself, though, right? So, like, what about when you're doing your workouts? Do you, like, compete toward yourself to push for a new PR, or?
I actually have, like, a very, very, very amateur competition background in, like, CrossFit. I mean, I went to, like, 4 or 5 competitions. Maybe it's actually more like 2 or 3. And I competed in them. And, like, I don't know, like, I get there, and I just, like, this is fun. But CrossFit is different than regular sport. Because since it's just like such like a close-knit community, you really like the competitive nature isn't really there. It's weird, like, because no one really cares there if they win, and if someone does win, you're like more happy for them. Like people in CrossFit when they lose don't really get down on themselves.
That sounds terrible. I don't know how I would see for something like that. I think being so competitive it gives me a sense of fulfillment in like anything that I do. Like, even if I'm playing, like, I can make something out of, like, even, like I said before, an RPS, me and Doc, rock, paper, scissors. Like, the fact that we can make it so competitive means that there's more in winning it. You know what I mean? Like, getting that sense of fulfillment. But at the same time, sometimes, it could definitely be unhealthy.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I think it's something that everyone should have, though. Like, I think everyone does have that competitive like nature in them, but it just takes either the right person to get it out of them or
the right situation.
The right purpose. I mean, if you guys tell me you guys want to put $155 or 155, what a specific number. If you guys want to put $150 on a rock paper scissors shoot, and I'm like, wow, this has monetary value, I might care if I win or lose. But me personally,
that's totally
I feel like
different. Like if I'm applying for a teaching job, well, I'm applying against hundreds of other people. So I'm competing against every single one of those applicants. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's just an example.
So do you think it means more to you if there's like a monetary value, or
like you just said, like if we had money on it?
Yeah,
or something?
like when you are applying for a job, someone's taking your pockets basically if they get it.
Yeah.
But like Chris seems like the kind of guy where he just wants to do it just to beat you because he's got issues.
Well, I think that depends on the situation, because obviously if I'm against people I have no idea who they are and they have a chance to take the job that I want and I'm going to, I'm applying for, then that's different. But if I look at Chris and I hate everything about him when it comes to sports because I want to beat him and everything. And usually I do.
It's because you have a crush on me.
Well, come on, save that for another time. But like I'd say me and Rocco are very competitive towards each other, but me and Chris in like ping pong or something like that, we go at it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I think I've actually fought with you, Doc, and Chris, both you guys, for poker. I can't control myself in poker.
Yeah.
You have anger issues. We've been over this.
Yeah, I mean, do we have to keep going into that? What do you want this to be, a therapy session at this point?
Well, I'll never forget the time me and Doc played heads up in my basement, and we were getting ready to like kill each other. Like, it got to the point where like I was getting ready to smash something in my closet, and then I was like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I took it too far.
Yeah, well, that's because you suck. And I was just
I was just thinking there's really only one solution, and it's for Rocco just to get a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. And I think like I grew up with 2 older brothers, so like they always brought like the competitive nature out of me, and I think that's like helped me throughout like a lot of different things in my life.
I don't know where I get it from. Like, my brother is not that competitive, and like I have no idea where.
Sports.
I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I have one older sister and we never fought growing up, so the competitive edge for me 100% came from sports, and I like probably same for you, right? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a nature versus nurture kind of thing. Like, it might not be a family type thing, but you play sports and then you just adapt to the competitive nature that it brings.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even know where I get the full competitive edge, like for stuff like not involved in sports in real life, like rock, paper, scissors. I couldn't tell you where that come from.
Maybe from school.
School? Like,
Yeah, just that everyone around you just like kind of bragging what they were doing or whatever. And not even school, but like just being around groups of people in general to where you run into that person who is competitive and then one day it strikes you the wrong way.
I
And you're
think
like, you know what? Gotta be better than that guy.
I think it really has to do with like the person you're competing against.
Your
You know what I mean?
competition.
Yeah, you're literally your competition. Like I said, like me and you will go at it with anything, and I think it makes you that much more like I want to beat Doc because I just want to see the look on his face when I do beat him.
Right.
And I think that's the same, for me. And like if I'm competing against Rocco, it's just I'm going to be just camped up in his head and doing whatever I can do to bring out his emotional side in him.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing to you, Chris.
You got to pull out all the tricks sometimes, and especially for Rocco.
Well,
You could say 2 words and he's flustered. His face is red. He's done.
I take it too far sometimes.
Sometimes.
So God has given me no natural talent, and it's hard to be as competitive as I am without that talent. So I just choose to open up my mouth and try to get in the other person's head. Like, that's the only way I deal with competition, is saying, all right, there's no shot I'm better than this person I'm going against, but I will be due to mental tactics.
Well, that's a great way to get ahead on somebody, is just to get in their head. And if you're just talking shit to someone, especially if it's in like an actual sports game and they're flustered, they're going to make bad decisions. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. That's where the competitive edge is going to come out.
Especially towards Rocco. Because not only is Rocco physically weak, he's literally mentally weak.
Jeez.
Oh, hold on.
Bad scene right now.
Hold on. There's a geared hatred towards me because we're in the studio 2 nights in a row, and it's all because of me, and I can feel it.
There's a theory going out that you deleted our last podcast.
There is a conspiracy going around.
We saw it on Reddit this morning. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't.
You should look it up. It's out there. The fans
So
see
the
it.
running conspiracy is, for those of you who don't know, Rocco seems like he's not in the loop on it. It seems like yesterday we had a rough day recording. You guys saw my Instagram story that I posted. Rocco made his own individual post on Instagram about, yesterday was basically just a shit show for us. Chiefs lost, a bunch of other stuff, but
We were down bad.
yeah, so we recorded, and we wanted to record our little sports talk after the Super Bowl. And basically, we were recording yesterday. Rocco, in the middle of, I don't know, what do you say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Something like that.
Yeah, we're in the middle of recording. Rocco's like, I hate this episode. I'm done with it. So we're like, well, everything's fine, I thought it was good. Lo and behold, we're hanging out watching the Super Bowl. Everyone packs up, they leave, and we get a text from Rocco at like 11:45, like, oh, guys, I have trouble. I just deleted the episode. And, like, what are the odds that this guy hates the episode 7 hours before and then all of a sudden no one's around and it's deleted?
I thought it was shady.
Let me
Gone.
explain.
Like, just gone.
It's just, how can that be?
So I explained in the Instagram post I have no prior experience to editing with the exception of a hypothetical podcast that I once made. And I'm learning everything as I go, and it's the funniest thing because for example, if you make a Word document, you can just like rename the Word document from your files. So that's what I did because we had saved the original file. I just put episode 2, which was wrong anyway because for some reason Earl wanted to start at episode 0.
Don't blame Earl.
Okay.
Yeah, like this is another thing, your little projection that you do.
Now we got the blame game going on.
No, the fact is I renamed the file, and then if you Google renaming Audacity files, the first thing that comes up says PSA, never rename Audacity files.
Maybe you should just do your research.
It was
You're
like
our editor.
rule number 1.
Yeah.
That
Right.
really sounds like a very clever plan. to just actually delete the episode because you hate it.
If you hated it that much, you could have just said that, like, and just said, "Guys, I don't like this episode. We got to do something else."
At least you did your research to make it a fake one.
Also,
fake story.
so the fans understand, I hated it because I felt like there were just there were some points where I was like, I don't know how I feel about if it's relatable and whatnot. And then I listened back to it. I was like, it's good. And then we did the second part of the podcast after the Super Bowl, and after getting Doc's live reaction, I was like, this is gold. Like, he is just he's down.
It was pure comedy. I think Earl peed.
Dropped the ball.
I actually think Earl peed himself. But I mean, thanks to Rocco,
It's gone.
We'll never hear it again.
Now you guys hear this episode.
Yeah, well, this is gonna suck
well,
compared to that.
It's gonna be horrible.
It's just a conspiracy that I wanted Rocco to be aware of. I know you two already heard about it because I told you two about it. But here we are, bounce back.
Oh, we're any time that we're not on schedule, we're gonna hit it right back in the studio. When I say that, I mean we're never not gonna be on schedule again. I mean we are recording this next episode so far ahead of time that we can't mess it up.
I mean, I just to talk about yesterday again. I woke up around 2 in the afternoon. What is it, Monday morning? My brother, or Monday afternoon now, I wake up and my brother's like, yo, what's going on with this shit? I'll have you know, I just went on Apple Podcast and I took my 5-star rating away and I put it to 3 because you guys told me you're coming out on Mondays at midnight. And I said, well, I'm glad you did. You know, you got to hold us accountable.
Did you tell him Rocco deleted our episode?
I told him the whole thing and he said, what a rookie.
Yeah, it's funny. My older brother texted me too. He goes, "I think you guys should fire Rocco.
Wow.
I don't think he should be the guy to do it." And I said, you know what? Give him the benefit of the doubt. We're just still learning experience for everyone.
I don't know. The look in your eyes is kind of saying like we should fire Rocco.
I am gonna just nip that in the bud right now and say that no, like out of me, Doc, and you, Chris, neither of us are smart enough to know how to work this contraption that Rocco's recording.
Yeah, we're
us
just
on.
kidding, Rocco.
Oh,
You're great at what you
Rocco's
do.
the best editor of all time.
Thank you for everything.
He's
you
not
do.
the best of all time. but
Obviously,
he's
Clearly not.
He's the best out of us.
I'm
Which
not
isn't saying
But
much.
we could YouTube. You know, that's why there's YouTube. We could easily figure out how to do it if we had to.
I'm not a good editor by any means. I actually went on our Instagram page myself and said grind Rocco up because he deserves it. That wasn't our social media manager Earl. That was Rocco, me, wanting to face the heat from the fans because I deserved it. And sure enough, Darren Sweeney within 7 seconds said, well, I'm not going to listen.
We lost one listener.
We
What
lost
a
a
shame.
listener. Yeah.
Well, to him, nobody's gonna miss him anyway. Next.
Well,
Oh,
he
wow.
doesn't. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have
I
that
will.
competitive edge.
I will.
I love him.
I'll take every listener I can get.
Trash
No,
or Rocket.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry, Darren.
I guess our fans have the competitive edge to want to listen to the podcast
Yeah. And
because they're letting me have it.
well, listen. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. You made a mistake. We're gonna learn from it. Last
the
week,
past.
how much we talked about adversity. We dealt with it a little bit. Again, you probably didn't deal with it the right way. That's okay. We're here for you. But
Dude,
Yeah.
I was heated. I mean, some of the stuff I was sending in the group message was just contemplating. I was like, I actually at one point said, and I quote, "I'm a fucking loser."
It's so funny because like when you're texting us that, I'm talking to Ryan and he's like, "Yeah, no, man, we're getting this version of Rocco right
it's
now."
like, oh
I
God.
said, "Here we go." And it's funny. Earl was like, "You don't know how bad I want to just text back," because Rocco at one point was like, "I'm not an editor. Like this is just not fun right now. Like I'm not having fun." And Earl was like, "I want to text back so bad." And he was like, "Well, if you didn't delete the episode, it would have been fun." And I was like, "You probably shouldn't do that because we're gonna get a worse version of Rocco."
The ball breaking can just hit hard on the wrong days.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like I feel like with me and Rocco, I feel like when I want to say something slick like that to Rocco, it goes one of two ways where he'll either be like, "Wow, Earl, this is funny. You just made me feel better." Whereas like if one of you guys were to say something like that to him, he's like, "I'm gonna come to your house and kill you" or something like that. Like I
No.
feel like Rocco like never kind of gets mad at me. You know what I mean?
Well, because
I mean,
you're
it's hard
so-
to look at you.
You're not
Oh,
competitive.
guys,
Your
come
voice
on.
is way too soft. Like the way you come off saying
It's just
things.
soothing.
Plus, I mean, not to draw to this, but you're the minority of the group. I can't have that kind of heat
Oh,
on
Oh
me.
my
Oh,
God.
no.
Oh, here we go. But
can't-
anyway, listen. It is funny, Earl, that you and Ryan can probably say the same thing to Rocco. and Rocco would get 10 times worse at Ryan.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's kind of what I was like trying to allude to.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I say one little thing, and Rocco's like, Doc, I'm not starting with you today. Like, come on.
Doc's face
I
pisses
think
me
all
off.
three of you have like a first grade crush going on, where you guys like to be mean to each other, hoping that you guys could fall in love later.
No, I mean, I think Ryan just makes the jokes with bad taste, and it's sometimes
we're-
it just rubs
we're-
you the wrong way.
We're called breaking balls for a reason, right? I'm just breaking balls. If you
Nah,
can't
bro,
do it, all right.
sometimes you say
Ball
things and it
breakers.
does.
I'm sorry. Look, I don't even know what kind of podcast we are.
Sometimes you say things and it does sound like there's some malice behind them.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's who I am. I want to get under your skin
Well, why would you do that?
because I know Rocco. He has thin skin, so I can get under it easy.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you're just rude, Ryan. How do you feel about
That's
that?
like mean.
I'm better than you in a lot of aspects of
At
sports.
nothing.
Yes, I am. I
Nothing.
would crush you in ball. I got
No,
the
you
height
wouldn't.
advantage. I would crush you. All right, name something else. I beat you in Madden last. Doesn't matter unless you win the last game of the season.
That's fake. Doesn't
You just
count.
said sports and then said Madden.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
come
because
on.
I can beat him in real life and virtually.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
The only thing I'm not better than you at is
Everything.
is weightlifting.
That's not true. I think you're really strong.
No, you know that's a lie.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
like-
I thought it was funny.
He's too skinny over here. You
Who,
mean
Rocco?
Strong.
Or me.
No, well, both of these. But Rocco needs a burger or something.
Yeah, he does. I remember the one time we're in the gym lifting, and I was doing like, I think it was shoulder presses or whatever, and I think I went up weight like the 75s. I don't know what it was, and I did like 6 or one more. I said, I was like, I can't do this.
Wow.
Rock was like, you're mentally weak. Yeah, you can. Like, da da da. And I was like, I looked over at him. I picked up the 75s, looked around. I was like, yeah, well, you're physically weak and mentally weak. And I picked them up and I just pumped out 10. Just to prove to Rocco that I'm just better than him in everything.
What a sick brag.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Humble brag.
It's
So did anybody hear that Ryan can lift 75 10 times? That's crazy.
That was back in my
How'd
glory
that make
days.
you feel, Rocco?
dude, it's actually demoralizing going to the gym.
Well,
Seeing
that was
how
my
much
competitive
more,
nature coming out.
You're just rude, like I said.
like I lift less than anybody I see at the gym. It is demoralizing, but I'll still go
Nah,
in there.
that's okay.
I'll still pump out some iron.
You can't
Who
compare
cares?
your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 27.
Well, that's funny because that is my
Yo.
chapter 27.
It actually makes me sad that a lot of people have that same mindset. You know, they always want to compare themselves and like upward comparisons of people.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. It happens a lot in CrossFit specifically, right? Because if you walk into a CrossFit gym, let's say Rocco walks into my CrossFit gym tomorrow, and he
You'd probably
sees,
be intimidated.
yeah, it's very intimidating. But I don't like that people think like that because I don't know. Like, there's steps to get to where you are, and I feel like people should never look down on themselves because of where they are. Like I feel like more people should be looking towards where they can be instead of where they're at.
Well, when everyone goes to a gym, they're all there for the same reason. Like
No.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, they have different goals, but it's all about health.
Oh yeah,
And,
I can get down
yeah.
with that.
Right. You're there to work on your fitness and stay in shape.
And then it's frowned upon. I wouldn't say. You want to know what it is? There for sure is dirty looks that are tossed around in the gym.
Yeah, of course.
And they're really not warranted for no, like, it shouldn't happen.
I think that's why I moved into CrossFit. When you go to a regular gym like your Planet Fitness, Giant Fitness, there's always that like one juice head that thinks he's kind of like better than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But like in a CrossFit gym, you go in there and people are just so welcoming to you. Like you could come into my CrossFit gym tomorrow. I don't know. You could be the heaviest you've ever been. Let's say like 350. But that's a heavy number, wouldn't you say?
I'm on my way.
But like you could come in there and no one would really shame you or look twice at you for your physical shape or for your physical ability. Like I feel like that's something that sucks about going to a regular gym.
Also, I feel like I feel like it's kind of just human nature to want to compare yourself to something.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it's another person or a standard or an idea, you just want to compare where you're at to something else. And I think once you get past that and just, because I know I haven't been to the gym in a little bit, but one of the things I love to do
can
is
tell.
yeah.
That was
One
a
of the
joke,
things
bro.
I love to do when I go to the gym is just to go and get a workout in and leave. You know what I mean? And I would feel great with that. Like, I couldn't imagine going in there and looking around at other people and thinking, like, damn, I'm like, I want to be that guy. Like, you know what I mean? I could never do that.
You remember when we did the sled?
Oh, dude, I almost threw up.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did.
Did I? I remember. Oh, you know what? I might have threw up. I think I did.
Oh,
That sled. You guys? I know you have. You done it with me. Have you done the sled?
I've done everything you could think of.
The first time, because the first time
It's
I
a
ever did a
loaded
sled,
statement.
I for people who don't know what the sled is, because I didn't, and I don't think Chris actually did when he first saw it. Did you?
No, I've done it before, but like
No.
years and years ago.
It's just a bunch of weight on a sled with 4 poles, and you push it on turf or whatever the case is. And
Yeah, like a prowler is what they
Yeah.
call
You
it.
just,
A prowler.
yeah, you slide it on the ground, like on the ground. But there was a lot of weight on it. There was 3 45-pound plates, right?
Mhm. And the first time we ever did it, like same thing with me. The first time I did it, I puked too, because I didn't realize how much it was going to take out of me.
Right, and especially we said we were going to do it 5 or 6 times, and the first time I did it, I'm pretty sure I did it as hard as I possibly could. I was sprinting, and on the way back, I was like, it wasn't that bad. Then the second time, you're like, oh my god, I was done.
Doc and I were talking about it. We were like, I think this kid's going to throw up.
Yeah, he did. Chris has a few funny moments of throwing up. Like,
Oh,
I remember I think we were staying after the day after Thanksgiving, right? We played a pickup game of football, and I was sticking Chris because there's our competitive nature. I need wherever he goes, I go. I have to do it and stick him and see if I can guard him. And Chris gives the benefit of the doubt. He blew by me. I've never seen Chris move so fast my entire
I
life.
cut you up.
Yeah, he got me, and then he scores a touchdown, and next thing you know, he's like, "I'm gonna throw up." He literally puked,
I had to go into the
Everywhere.
woods and
and it was
let it
it was
rip.
hilarious.
That's not even the only other time he he pulled a hammy in softball. He
Oh,
went
wait.
by-
God.
Speaking of, before you guys get to the softball, I'm pretty sure I didn't play football that day because I was working, but I'm pretty sure that's the same field that Chris took a shit in like 3 weeks ago.
Oh man, that's a great story.
No,
well,
it's
wait,
not.
what is it with you and just like projecting a fluid or something? Whenever
No, but I know what you were about to say about softball, and when I hurt my hamstring, this one thing that happens to me is if my body at some point is in excruciating pain, like I throw up, and I know everybody has a different reaction to that. Some people cry, some people want to scream. One of the things that happens to me, it like makes my stomach turn that I'm like have that much pain and I throw up. And
We're playing softball, and Chris hits an absolute moonshot. I mean, like an easy home run, and he's sprinting around the bases, and he gets the. I mean, it should be a
Almost the
walk-in
second.
home run. Oh yeah, he
I
barely
didn't
got
even
the
make
second,
it to second base.
and he pulled up he pulled a hammy, and we had to get a pinch runner for him. And he comes in the dugout, and he literally goes to the tree and just starts like throwing up because he pulled a hamstring. And I was
No.
so confused. I said, "You pulled a hamstring. Why are you throwing up right now? What's going on?" Like, I was confused.
I know it has nothing to do, like it's just the fact that when I tell you I was in excruciating pain, I couldn't put an ounce of pressure on my right leg. But
You had a
Uh,
hammy all year. It's okay.
I know, and that's why I wasn't as good moving forward.
you
I
actually
mean,
went for that game in somebody's backyard to yak.
it wasn't in their backyard, it was like right next to it. But I also went back in the game, to be fair, and I got 2 singles. But I'll tell you what, they probably could have threw me out at first. I was hobbling down the line.
You got to get back to it, Chris.
I gotta
You
get
gotta-
back in it. Maybe I'll join your CrossFit gym.
I want to do something different. I would love to do.
I feel like
jiu-jitsu.
I want to know, like, where are you guys at right now as far as a fitness level? Like, where do you guys, do you guys do anything?
No.
I could
No.
definitely do better. I've had a back issue the past couple weeks, so I haven't been at the gym. But I mean, I mean, usually I'm in the gym 5-6 days a week, and I'm not in the best shape that I could be in. But I'm definitely want to get back to it. But I don't know.
The
about-
reason I ask, right, is because I was looking on Instagram just now, actually, and I saw a story that said, like, the best investment you could make isn't in stocks right now. It's actually in yourself. Like, think about, like, don't you guys like you and Rocco, Chris, don't you guys feel like you want to be moving better, feeling better?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. I know that I do. It's just sometimes when I'm working a lot, I know it's a bad excuse, but I get caught up in it, and I know you can agree with me, Rocco. Sometimes there's just so much going on that it's hard to steer away from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I also, so relating to that, I also think to myself, you know what, this is what should make me start working out, is to release some endorphins and get away, so that way I have another goal than just the job itself.
Yeah. Speaking of goals, I'm actually currently in psychology of happiness, and the professor was talking to us last week, basically saying goal-setting individuals are actually the happiest individuals there are.
I love that.
I really like what you did when you said about it, like investing in yourself. I think that's like something like anyone and everyone should like take into account. Like we were talking about earlier about going to the gym and like comparing yourself to others. You don't want to compare yourself to someone else. You're your own person. You do your own thing. You know, put the time into yourself to get to where you want to be and to do what you want to do. And I think, you know, that should apply for everybody. And I think I'm gonna start doing that or more. I'm gonna set some goals and I'm gonna invest in me.
Yeah, and there are, you know, the gripes of life. Like, you know, someone like Chris and Rocco, they're just getting started in their work fields. Someone like me and you, who are full-time students, like, it's hard to find time to work on yourself. And it could be anything. I mean, we're talking about fitness. It doesn't have to be fitness. You could sit down.
It also is a lot of self-evaluation too. I feel like if you don't actually know what you want to do or the way you actually feel, how can you even set a goal for yourself if you don't know what you want?
There is a lot of steps to setting a goal. There are a lot of steps to setting a goal. You can't just wake up tomorrow and say, I want to run a 5K. You know what I mean? There's steps that you need to take before you even set that goal.
Couch to 5K.
There is such thing as couch to 5K. Rocco tried to get us to do that a couple months ago.
Maybe
that?
I'll
We
do
flaked
that.
on that.
It's like it's like a little bit more each day than the day you did before. Like,
yeah. So the reason they call it that is because literally, if you follow this training program, you could go from sitting on the couch every day to doing a 5K in the allotted time. Rocco, do you remember the time?
I think
it's like a couple months, wasn't it?
I think the first day is 1 minute jog, a minute and a half walk, which like you're getting more walking time than jogging time, which is like pretty easy. You know, it's not that bad, but you know, for someone who's just starting out, it might be a little rougher. But you know, I think they also take into account your weight and where to start, and you know, they make it pretty easy on you, and it is building steps to be able to run a 5K, which I think is interesting. I mean, when I work out, I take more pride in conditioning than strength, to be completely honest.
But wait, how long was it supposed to take you from the couch to the 5K?
I want to say
if you follow all those
it was
steps.
between 4 and 8
I'll
weeks.
look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, there's an app for this if any listeners are interested in it too.
I've never
There's
ran a
an app?
5K.
Yeah, Rocco wanted me to download the app, but I just found the program online. I get shady about downloading too many apps. I don't know.
It's 9 weeks.
You don't trust Siri?
It's a 9-week program. So if you started this today, so what's that? Like a little under 3 months?
It's not even
9 weeks
over,
is
right over 2
2
months.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like 2 months in a week.
Yeah. So in that time, you should be able to run a 5K. That's pretty interesting.
You want to do that with me, Chris?
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's be accountable to ourselves.
Let's invest in ourselves over this next 9 weeks.
Tuesday,
I like that.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We'll do.
Where are we going to run the 5K?
You guys should probably wait till it's done being cold out. You guys could personally, you could never tell
Why?
me I was going to run if it was cold out.
Cold, just a state of mind.
That's not true.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
Dude.
yes, it is.
I raced Aunt Miss Ellie around the crossings at Rowan, and I thought I was going to die in a cold day because the air was so dry that my lungs couldn't recover from running around this block.
Because it was on your head.
No, my lungs were... Dude, I couldn't
You
gain...
let that happen.
No. And if you watch the video, Aunt was taking a nice good old stroll while I sprinted around this block for like a quarter of whatever the track was. But when I got back to that apartment, if the cold air is dry, dude, good luck getting your breath back.
Well, I'm just saying, because I remember watching a video before about, I think it was a Navy SEAL and like their training program. I mean, I don't know how, like, it was a video I saw on YouTube, and they brought in like a former NFL player, and one of the things they have to do is sit in like an ice cold like tank, like an ice bath basically, for like 10 minutes, and like the first 5 minutes is your head above water, and then like a minute under, a minute above, like it goes like that. And they were saying that right there, if you can do it, is basically saying that like you didn't even think about the cold, because it's on your head. You know, I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Obviously, you know, you're cold, but I don't know how true that is, but the Navy SEAL
I
training
really
program
do
is,
think you guys should right now make a pact to, you know, get more active.
What do you mean you guys? Where are you? What about you?
I'm the most active out of all of you. I could care less about running a 5K.
Could you run a 5K right now?
Probably.
What do you mean probably? It's a yes
Yeah,
or
I
no.
could run a 5K.
You can't run a 5K.
I don't think you can.
I'll do it right now, and I'll be back before you guys are done recording this episode.
Well, no, you would just go upstairs and talk to Chris's dad, and then
I
come
wish.
back.
I wish, but
I don't believe you.
you really
sir.
don't think I could run a 5? I could run a 5K,
No,
no
I
problem.
bel-
Well, 5Ks. How long is a 5K?
It's only like
3 miles.
3 something.
3.2
and some
miles,
change.
I think.
3.2, yeah.
I mean,
I'm
at
just
our
kidding, Al.
age, we probably all should be able to run a 5K,
Mm-hmm.
like easily.
I would be able to do it, just not in a very good time, like at all.
Yeah.
I would have to, and that's just like.
But it
you know,
doesn't
it's
matter.
my
If
state.
you finish, you finish, and that's good. You completed the 5K.
There's actually, so going back to the cold, there's actually like headgear to where if you put it over your mouth, I believe it moisturizes the air coming into what you're breathing, to where then it's not like dry air anymore.
That sounds like an expensive contraption.
Yeah, like an Under Armour type thing.
I've never heard of it.
It actually sounds almost impossible, unless you're wearing some sort of like breathing tube.
I'm sure that there's headgear.
Have you
for
guys
that.
ever worn those masks things that suppress the air that you breathe in to try to help you
yeah.
get more conditioned?
Yeah, you know what? I bought one of them when I was in like high school, and then I spent like $100 on it, and then I read an article that basically said the whole thing didn't even work.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, did you try it or?
Yeah, I used it for some time, and I thought I was really going hard, and then I read that and was like super sad. And I was like, wow, I just wasted $100 and 5 months of training with this thing.
I had that. I tried that one time, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. I don't care if it's gonna help me get in better shape. Just not being able to breathe like that. Like you can breathe, obviously, but it cuts your it limits the amount of air you breathe in. Have you ever tried it, Rye?
No, but I was thinking, speaking of masks and like how I mean, that's just a mandatory thing now. You got to wear a mask. Is it just me, or does if you wear a mask outside in the cold, it actually keeps your face warm?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a trend I might roll with even when the
No,
whole
like
corona is done.
seriously. Like, 'cause I
Just
work
a mask?
outside a lot of work, and I have my mask on, and I'm like, my face is extremely warm right now.
Feels
Mhm.
good.
Especially
Yeah.
if you have a cloth one.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like the surgical mask, not as much, but if you have like a nice cloth mask outside, that's good stuff. I don't
Mhm.
mind it at all. I'm so used to wearing a mask at this point. Like, it's not a big deal to me.
No, it's
I don't know
not.
how you guys feel about it.
It's really not a big deal either
I
way.
hate it.
Still,
Yeah.
Well, wait. I want to go back to your mask suppression. It was a mask breath suppression. Like it just.
Yeah, it's basically supposed to. It was supposed to like simulate as if you were training in Denver.
in like
Right.
high altitude.
Yeah, it was a high altitude
Right.
mask. Yeah. That's what it was called.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, and the theory is that the more you do that, it's like when you take it off and you can breathe better, that you're going to be more conditioned. Like
Yeah,
you'll be able
like,
to run more farther. and,
Isn't
you
that
know.
why they say like Jamaican runners are better than others? Is it
Because
because there's a high altitude in Jamaica or something like that?
Is that so?
I know there's a lot of Olympians who go to Denver to train. I don't know there's something about Jamaica. I don't know if that was it, but I do know that there's a lot of Olympians that go to high altitude areas to train.
It's
Right.
it's interesting that in the NFL, the Denver Broncos, that there's actually more than just a home field advantage, right?
I mean, technically speaking, this season they were like the only team that really had a home field advantage because of that. Since there's not really many fans in the stands,
The Broncos, you said?
since
Because
they're
of the
high
mile
altitude,
high?
yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It's always brought up like right before the broadcast. It'll
It
be
is.
like you're mile high, like the other team's gonna have trouble breathing. You always see them with the oxygen mask on the sidelines.
That's so
It
crazy.
never seems to affect the Chiefs when they go there.
Well, I mean,
Well, something affected them yesterday, but
Yeah.
I didn't know how to put that into words.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's get on to it now.
Hit a
Let's,
guy when he's down.
what happened yesterday, Doc? Let's transition right into our sports talk.
A lot happened.
What was your, now that you had a
A
night to
ton
sleep
happened.
over it, and like now that the emotions aren't overwhelming you, what's the thing that really bothered you most about last game?
I think definitely the game plan. Andy Reid had a horrible game plan. I don't know if whoever it was just terrible defensively, offensively, everything. They looked like they didn't want to. The only person that looked like they wanted to be there was Patrick Mahomes, and I mean, he just got just dismantled
It
every
was
single
hard to
play.
watch. It really was hard to watch.
So I actually went into the Super Bowl saying, "Yo, if Mahomes loses, I can't imagine him ever being compared to the GOAT." But and again, Brady's the GOAT. Like Mahomes would have to win 8 or whatever the case is. I mean, we'll wait until the end of Mahomes' career to definitively decide. But truthfully, some of the what were some of the stats you were saying yesterday? How many times did he get knocked down? How many rushes did he? How many yards total did he run?
So I saw earlier that he was pressured 30 times out of 50 dropbacks, which was a Super Bowl record. Tom Brady was pressured 4 out of 30 dropbacks, which was the lowest ever in Super Bowl history.
It's not a winning
And no, it's definitely not going to win you many games. And he scrambled around the field. The football field's 100 yards. He scrambled for 500 yards.
And
that's not positive yards.
Yeah, I think he netted 30 or 40 or something like that.
Yeah, and he scrambled around 500 yards. That's impressive.
It's a shame.
It's terrible.
I hate when it's such a deflating feeling when the Super Bowl just isn't entertaining to watch.
I think it hit me more this morning. Last night it was kind of just this sucks, and we had a really good sports talk about it, and
Rocco blew it.
And I still can't believe it.
Chiefs blew it. Truthfully.
Okay, yeah.
Andy Reid should get fired. I mean, what's he doing?
No.
All right. And no, see,
That's the coldest take that we're talking about.
What do you mean? That team was not prepared, and you know who was prepared? Bruce Arians and the
How
squad.
could you ever say that a coach who brought a team to their second straight AFC championship should be on the
Third
hot
straight.
seat? The third straight.
And the reigning Super Bowl champ.
He's not good enough to win the last game of the season now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
goodness.
hate you.
He was 2-1.
I hate you.
2-1 to win the Super Bowl before the season started.
I think I hate you too.
And you think he should be fired because
Yeah.
of that? Are you crazy?
No, I don't think
Enough.
I don't think he should legit. That was a hot take. That
Listen,
Rocco
it-
didn't
No.
mean
That's
seriously.
a cold take.
That's a hot take.
No, it's a hot, stupid take that just makes zero sense.
He just got outcoached.
Yeah, and I said that about 2 minutes ago. He got outcoached. It was horrible.
I'm just
the
upset.
team didn't show up. They looked flat. It was
They
just
didn't even
bad.
score a
They-
touchdown.
They didn't look like the Chiefs. They didn't score a touchdown. It's the first time ever in Patrick Mahomes' career that they didn't score a touchdown. So take it how it is.
We mentioned this before. When they came out in the second half and Travis Kelce got 40 yards off the bat. He got 2 first. Not a single time did he celebrate. He just kind of walked back to the huddle.
That's something that I realized yesterday too. Is I felt like they looked flat all game. They didn't
All
have
game.
They didn't have their Chiefs flair to them. They
Yeah.
do those little silly turn spins in the backfield before the play, or after a handoff, Pat Mahomes will do something a little silly. They didn't have a flair to them.
It was
At all.
weird. No, really weird and shady, in my opinion. I don't know what happened.
What do you
Even
gonna tell us? You think it's fixed?
Nah, well, yeah, I said that yesterday, but definitely not fixed. I mean, the refs made some dumb calls, but I don't blame the refs. That obviously didn't affect the outcome of the game. But even when the Chiefs went up 3-0, even after that, and I was like, this just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right.
I thought the game was over after that. I thought
When
I
they
thought
scored 3
After they
points.
scored a field goal, you thought they were dead.
I thought
you
that
want to know when
that
the game was
Chiefs were gonna
over?
win.
I'll give you when the game was over. When the Buccaneers were up 7-3, it's 4th and goal. The Chiefs get a stop on 4th and goal. Huge momentum change shift. They get out. Tyreek Hill makes a nice play to get out of the 1 yard line, whatever it is, and then they get down the 3rd down, and Mahomes makes a good play and throws a perfect pass to Travis Kelce, who drops a wide open pass. I know it's just from that, I'm not lying, from that play, and I'd seen when he dropped that ball, it was that was the deflating moment of this game's over.
I thought,
And he doesn't miss that ball ever.
between that and the slew of penalty, regardless of whether it was the refs or not,
They beat themselves.
the slew of penalty, that offsides penalty for the field goal. That's the only one I really disagree with. I mean, that's as ticky tacky as you can get.
Yeah, and that was a huge play. Because it's different if you go into halftime down 14-6. That's a lot better than 21-6, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, yeah, the Chiefs have been down plenty of multiple scores before, but that game yesterday just didn't feel right. 14-6
Not against
going into
Brady.
halftime, it's a different game, I think.
The game sucked.
It
to
was
be completely
horrible.
Honest. A halftime show though. Halftime show.
Whoa,
There's a lot of mixed reviews on the halftime show.
There
There
is.
really is, and that's surprising to me. I thought it was awesome.
So what are people hating it for?
I don't know.
I think it was more of the older crowd. Because I walked into work today and I was talking to a lot of the older guys, and they were like, oh, that halftime show sucked. I didn't get it. It was dumb, blah, blah, blah.
Damn.
And I was like, well, if you understood who the artist was, I think it might make a little more sense to you. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. It was like a depiction of him being freed from the stereotypes of Hollywood and like the fame. But at the eye level, not it's hard to see. I guess.
I mean, there's
right?
only so good of a Super Bowl performance you can do. I mean, like if you want to go to a weekend concert, you'll probably get your socks knocked off. Like this guy is an unbelievable artist. Like you can only, what is it, 12, 15 minutes? They do
Right.
like what, their last like 5 hits?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like you're there to watch the football game. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I can't believe people are really that upset about a halftime performance.
Yeah, and I thought it was great. And I mean, well, I'm obviously biased because The Weeknd is my favorite artist, but
I don't know. I liked the way they were on the field, synchronized, the way they were dancing. I kind of liked their mask of like them looking like they were coming out of an insane asylum.
mm-hmm.
Like to me it looked interesting. I like there was probably some bias in the music itself. However, just looking back at a past Super Bowl, I'm sure you guys have probably watched it. You guys ever watched a Michael Jackson Super Bowl halftime show?
I honestly can't say I have.
No, I haven't either.
That was
When?
electric.
What year was that?
I don't know the exact year, but it started at the 4 corners of the stadium, and they were like 4 fake Michael Jacksons that popped up from like each television of the 4 corners of the stadium, and it was them doing the Michael Jackson move. And then in the middle of the football arena, Michael Jackson popped up, and everyone just went berserk and ran to the middle of the field, and Michael didn't say a word for like a minute. He was just staring at the crowd, stone cold. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it wasn't the best Super Bowl halftime performance of all time, but the hate towards it, don't get it.
I did see a lot of people this morning on Twitter saying they wished it was Taylor Swift. I'm going to go on the
Really?
record and say I hate Taylor Swift.
Oh, whoa.
I hate this new Taylor Swift.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Big T Swift.
anyone who's wondering why they have never employed Taylor Swift to do the Super Bowl halftime show, she's actually a Coke-sponsored person. The halftime show is ran by Pepsi. So if
Interesting.
no one knows that, that's why they never went into it.
It's
I never
better-
knew that. I never knew that took into effect, actually.
Yeah, she's like a big Diet Coke girl,
right.
lady.
Is that why Drake would never be the halftime? Because he's sponsored by Sprite?
Yeah, Sprite's Coke, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a shame. Now I'm even more sad than I was yesterday.
That's as true as it gets. That's probably better than Chris's fat fact. What do you got, fat fact guy?
My fat fact. It's that time. All right, I got a good one today. It's really useless. Like it's about as useless of a fact as you can possibly get.
So it's
So-
perfect for you.
Yes. So the only state in the United States that doesn't have a McDonald's in their capital is Vermont. So 49 out of the 50 states have a McDonald's in their capital city.
Even Alaska.
What's the capital of Vermont?
Montpelier, or I guess that's how you pronounce it.
It looks like Carl's going to see if this is actually true.
After yesterday, that was the best part of yesterday's show, was Chris gave us a fact. What was the fact yesterday?
It's gone forever.
No, I
Rocco.
think you remember it.
I think you remember it.
My fact yesterday was that 2013 was the last time since 1987 that it had 4 different numbers in the year, like 2013. But we deemed that to be incorrect
Yeah, because
literally the next year, 2014,
and every year after.
Yeah.
2015, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
What a dumb fact.
You were looking at a
You're the
website made
fat
in
fact guy.
2013.
Well, good thing you deleted the podcast, so I had another chance here. What'd you just do, Earl? Did you look it up?
Yeah, it looks like
Correct.
Yeah, it's correct. There's
Okay.
one on the highway. It looks like around 4 miles right out of Montpelier.
Ooh.
Close.
So
Got
Close.
almost, Chris.
you're good
How
though.
about
The
it?
fact's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Better
And
than the fact we had yesterday,
Do with that fact as you may.
which Rocco ruined.
If somehow you end up stranded in Montpelier and you're like, man, I could go over McDonald's. There's not one
Good luck.
in the capital, but you could travel 4 miles south of the capital.
And if you start now, you'll be able to run it
oh,
a
we
little
had
bit each day.
we've had this debate before. Do you? All right. You know what? Are you able to put a poll up on Instagram?
I can start a poll.
It's just it's a yes or no. Can you do a yes or no question?
I can do anything you want
You
on
sure
there.
can.
Okay. From our location, we're just going to label this South Jersey. From South Jersey, I believe that we would be able to run to Canada in 7 days. At any point in Canada, just to touch the surface of Canada on our bare
Just
feet,
get to the border.
including
Okay, hold on. Bare feet.
or not bare feet. I'm sorry. And now whenever we bring in our backpacks and our clothes or our hitchhiker gear, including sleep, that we would be able to get there in 7 days.
What's the closest point of Canada to here?
Where
Niagara
Buffalo
Falls?
is, I think.
I think it's Montreal.
No. Stupid. Montreal. Niagara Falls.
You had to call me stupid for that?
Doesn't Niagara Falls like literally border the
Yeah.
United States?
I personally say there's no chance if we started right now we can get to Canada in 7 days on feet.
I think we could do it.
You definitely can't.
I mean, you got to think, like, that's really far.
I think
That
the
is
last time
really far.
And you're taking in stopping and sleeping, which I mean, depending on how long you want to sleep for, that's huge.
You're
All right, well,
only going to be able to sleep like
Listen,
3 hours
according
a day.
to Google Maps, or I guess Apple Maps, whatever I'm using, it looks like from where we are in this pinpointed location right now, if you were to just walk to Niagara Falls, it would actually only take you 5 days.
There's no way.
And we looked
It's-
that up before.
5
And
days.
this is walking nonstop. It has to be.
Yes.
This is not
Yeah,
include
yeah.
sleeping
Absolutely. So I think you sleep 3 hours
a day.
every night.
No, not even. You have
What do
5
you mean
days.
Not even.
You have
dude?
5 days. You get 8. Think about it this way: you get 8 hours of sleep a day, right? If like typically.
Well, I mean, that's the standard.
So say you slept all 5 of those days 8 hours a day. That's 5 times 8. That's 40 hours. That's less than 2 days of the 5 days you walked.
So if you want to run, you could maybe cut that and, you can maybe do 3 and some change if you want to run.
Listen, I don't think it's realistic to say you're sleeping.
Well, we're
8
going to be
hours a
running our
night.
5K soon, so we're going to be getting there. We're going to be preparing to run to Canada soon.
And you guys can include
Where
the
would you
emotional
sleep
factor
for-
too.
How you gonna get?
Yeah.
You'd
You
have
gotta-
to rent out a motel room.
And not for nothing, this Apple Maps is like
You'd have to.
This is like making you walk along some sort of road. I mean, you
like
could.
highways.
I mean, I don't know.
You're not going to be no shot. You're not going to be able to do it. We're going to put up a poll up, and I want to hear the viewers'
Yeah, like
opinion
not
on this.
not just the time, like every aspect you guys can think of, like actually making it through, the motivation to get through, the weather condition. Let's say it's springtime to make it fair. Would you
What
guys
if
agree
it
with
ra-
that?
What if it rains? Like then you're. Just
I
gonna
would
get
never
wet.
walk that far. I wouldn't even walk to my house from Chris's. I live a 5-minute drive away. Why would I walk anywhere? That just sounds childish.
Well, realistically, why would you ever walk to Canada? So, no shit, Earl. And why would you walk to my house from your house? Maybe if you wanted to get some exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I would meet you halfway, though.
Oh, I love you.
Okay.
All right, and we got a little straight off topic. The big part of ending our show is Doc's lock, and we need to hear some locks because Doc lost a lot of people money last week.
I actually told my brother it was somewhere between the millions of listeners that millions of people lost
I did
money
warn
because
everyone
of
to
Doc.
gamble responsibly and that this was not 100%. I am 0-1 so far for Doc's Locks, but we're back. I'm going to give you a winner. I know it, and some people here might be a little upset with this lock, but I'm going to take the Washington Capitals tomorrow against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Boo.
Say tomorrow. Say the date.
Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, February 9th.
Yeah, because it's all relative right now
Yes,
to when our
sorry.
listeners will be
It
listening.
could be tonight.
February 9th, Tuesday, which is a Tuesday, the Flyers face the Washington Capitals, and I'm taking the Washington Capitals.
Are you actually taking them?
Oh, yeah. If I'm giving out a Doc's Lock, I'm taking them.
You're betting against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, what do you think?
You
I've
know what?
never done that
I-
before?
I do kind of like that bet because if you guys watched the game on Sunday before the Super Bowl, Alexander Ovechkin put on a clinic against this team. It's like the Flyers just got by the skin of their teeth. You know what I mean? They can't do that every game.
Yeah, come on.
No, I mean they did end up winning 7-4.
Yeah.
So, I
yeah,
mean,
okay. They didn't get by the skin of their teeth, but this
But the way I know what you mean though. The way
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game played out, they probably shouldn't have won, but they did pull it out. But I like it, Doc. I'm the
Thank you.
biggest Flyers fan that you can be, and trust me, I know when they're gonna lose.
And
I
Tomorrow
don't
just
like
feels like that day for me. I don't know why.
I
But
don't
the
like
fact that I just said that, bet the Flyers. No, I'm just kidding. Doc's lock, Capitals.
it. Yeah.
We're coming back 1-1.
Yeah, he needs a big rebound, and it's not only obviously nobody cares about hockey. So we have with football ending now. I mean, we have hockey to talk about. Basketball huge with the Sixers this year, as well as just what's going on around the league. LeBron James is always a topic to talk about, and baseball. Spring aren't catchers and pitchers reporting soon?
Yeah, next week or two.
Yeah, baseball's coming right around the corner.
Yeah, now that hopefully Doc's done crying about his Chiefs, we got The Phillies coming up. We got Flyers still going. They're going to go strong except for tomorrow night, Tuesday night, February 9th. Doc's lock.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's listening who's on DraftKings, DraftKings, as you know, was down yesterday right before kickoff for the Super Bowl. So they actually credited everyone. Looks like a $20 free bet. So I don't know if anyone has seen it already, but make sure you claim that because there's only a time period you can use that. It goes away after some time.
Remember, please gamble responsibly. Please.
Disclaimer. The Doc disclaimer.
Especially with Doc's locks.
As we know. A lot of L's,
Do
a
you
lot
know
of red
what the
L's.
line is? Do we know?
Money line. I don't care. Money line.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, they're probably going to be favorited.
Yeah.
Favorited.
Favorited. They're going to be favorited.
That's a word, huh?
All right, we're gonna
I
take a look at that
guess.
line, then we'll take it out. So what's the line?
The Flyers are a favorite minus 125. So you're getting the
Really?
Capitals at a good price.
Wow.
All right, I would
that's a good
probably
Yeah.
take that if I was an unbiased fan as well.
bet. Mm-hmm.
So guys, that wraps us up. Sarah McWiggy, way to win the first ever Ball Breakers podcast T-shirt.
Congrats.
Huge,
Congrats.
huge dub. Again, Earl will message you within a day or two regarding the information and get your size. Guys, keep feeding in questions. We add it to our bank, so if it doesn't get answered the week that you send it in, there's still a chance that it will get answered going forward, and we're going to highlight the top 3 questions at the beginning of every show. Follow us on Instagram at BallBreakersPod, P-O-D, at BallBreakersPod, and please, again, by either Wednesday or Thursday, we plan on having merchandise set out with our T-shirts after we give, obviously, Sarah the first one. We plan on having T-shirts sold on Etsy. Thanks again to Halo Creations and Angel Amato. She's been unbelievable.
Yeah, and if you guys do want to check out her shop on our Instagram, if you go into the link in our bio, I do have Angel's shop linked. If you guys are having trouble finding her Etsy or finding her Instagram personally, take a look in our link, and you can find her through there as well.
Don't forget the discount code.
And
either.
also, huge promo going on. We have Ball Breakers 10 as a discount code on her Etsy shop, not just for Ball Breakers items, for any item. Ball Breakers 10, if you enter that in, that will get you 10% off any product on her shop on Etsy. Again, that can be found on her Instagram page at Halo Creations. We can't thank her enough, and we cannot thank Joe enough for the designs to make these shirts even possible. So, any closing points you guys want to round out with?
Sorry again for the delay, but
That's on me. I dropped the ball.
One thing I do want to add, I talked about, everyone investing more in themselves. I want everyone to set a goal towards your personal well-being, whether it's thinking about how grateful you are to be where you are now, think about where you want to be. I just, and this can be a little shameless plug for my gym at X Athletics on Instagram. They're actually running a promo for the month of February. If anybody wants to come on Friday, shoot me a DM. I can get you in there. Your first session's free if anybody does want to come by and try it out.
Awesome. And
love the inspiration, Earl.
we usually end the show by saying win Monday. And since I messed up, let's go ahead and win Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday's not a bad day.
No,
if you had a
no.
bad day on Monday, Tuesday's your Monday. Let's get
It's a
after
new
it.
day.
Let's get after it. All right, guys. Take it easy, Ball Breakers fans. We'll speak to you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.